أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. How is everybody? How are you doing? All okay? Did you get a good sleep? Did you sleep after the Fajr? Or was it a bit too tiring? Last 10 nights are coming. Yes, the last 10 nights of the Ramadan, mashallah, they're coming. And very soon, we're gonna have to sleep less, even less. So who's joining? Who's joining? Tell me. Who's in the call right now? Okay. So who's there? I want to know. Okay. So how was your day? How's your fast going? Wa alaikum assalam, Talha. How are you? Very well. Good. Good. Had a good discussion with you on the WhatsApp. That was good. So I hope you managed to do more on the exercise. I'm very well, alhamdulillah. Very good. It's pretty warm here, actually. Today it's pretty warm. From UK standards, actually. It's like 22 degrees right now. It's 22 degrees right now. It's compared to UK standards, it's quite warm. Normally, it's not that warm in UK. But it will get warmer. I've bought 2 fans now because it was getting difficult without the fans. Yes, I don't know how. Okay, great. You managed to complete the exercise. That's excellent. That's very good. 27 degrees. Okay, it's pretty warm. It's pretty warm. So does it get? Oh, is that the warmest that it gets in your area, Stockholm? I guess you are in, right? Is this the warmest, or it will get even above this? So what I've seen about 35 degrees here. Also, when I was in Germany, so 35 in Germany, I've seen once 40 as well. In 40 as well. In UK, about 35 degrees or so. Okay, it's pretty. Okay, it's so. Is it in the news then? Is it in the news that it's the warmest May in 100 years, or is it what you think? Because you've been there for about 15 years or so. Okay, okay, okay. Good. Okay. So things are changing. You know, if you just look at the global landscape, the countries which were cooler are starting to become warmer, and the countries which were warmer are starting to become cooler. Yes. For example, I come from Karachi, Pakistan. You too, Tala, I know. I mean, the winter in that city is now much cooler than what it was 15 years back. It gets much cooler there. Here in Germany, I remember when I came about 16 years back, it was much cooler. The winters were much cooler. Now they're not. They're actually getting quite warm. And I mean, this year we didn't really have a very strong winter. It was, yeah, fine, but I never saw a very strong winter that I used to see when I was like 15 years back in Europe. So it has changed quite a lot. Good. Who else has joined? Anyone else joined? I see a few viewers joining slowly. People ramping up. Assalamu alaikum, all the new joiners. How are you as well? Everything okay? Yes, I know. I remember a few years back, it hit about 40 degrees in France, and many people died. Because these countries are not made for warm weather. They're just built for more kind of cold weather. They don't have fans in the houses. They don't have. Many places don't just have an air conditioning. All new buildings which are modern, they're introducing it, but they generally did not make use of those things because these countries were very cool countries in a weather sense, very cool countries. So yeah. So it is changing. It is changing everywhere. Good, excellent. So we have few students on the line now. I'm just waiting. I'm just giving a bit more time so people can join, so we can start. Um, how was the exercise overall? Did you manage to complete the exercise? And what is your confidence level that what you have done is correct? What do you think? Uh, what is your confidence level? What do you think is your understanding level? Is this something which is getting better every time? Probably during the class, it's a bit too much to understand at the same time. But when you go back and you think about it in your own time, and you open your notes and just rethink about the class, things start to fall in place a little bit. Yes, slowly, steadily, slowly, steadily. Imagine if I tell you that there are 3 types of forms of status: Rafa, Nasab, Jar. That's a child's play for you now, isn't it? But when you started the course, it was not. It was completely new. It was probably also somewhat challenging to remember. This is called Rafa, this is called Nasab, and this is called Jar. Right? Those concepts. Now they're becoming cleaner and a bit more comfortable. Same story with, let's say, the difference between Muslimun, Musliman, and Muslimin. Muslimani, Muslimaini, Muslimaini, Muslimuna, Muslimina, Muslimina. So these are the concepts which are pretty new to you in the beginning. What weren't they? So they were just pretty new to you. And when you did them, you instantly did not get hold of them in the class, right? You just got the good concept, you just got the understanding. But when you went back home, some time went by, you came to another class, you spent some time at home, revised it a little bit here and there, then they become quite comfortable. Yes, they become quite comfortable. And that's how it goes normally in any study. In any study, if you remember, when you were in grade 1 feels difficult. When you move to grade 2, grade 1 feels easy. When you move to grade 3, grade 2 feels easy, and so on. That's how it is. Okay. So as far as you have attempted the exercise, regardless you've done it right or wrong, if you have attempted, you have made use of the knowledge you learned in the class, which is a good sign. And inshallah, we'll review the exercise today and revise what we have done last time. And then we go from there. Really, it depends how the class goes today. If you guys really pick up what I'm going to tell you today, we could just complete the 4 properties of ism today. It's just number, gender, and type remaining. They're not very big topics. They're not very big topics. Status was the biggest topic. It was the biggest topic, and you've covered the status already. So it really, let's see how the class goes. If not this class, probably in the next class or so, we will complete the 4 properties of ism, and then we'll jump into something more interesting that brings everything together. Okay. Good, excellent. So if you're online, let me begin the class now, and inshallah we'll take it from there. What my ambition is that after the class, if time permits, I'll try to open the Quran and also show you what you can already map on the Quran, the knowledge that you have, how you can already map to the Quran. So I will share my screen with you, as always. So please do tell me when you see my screen, inshallah. I hope the picture and the voice and everything is okay. If it's not, tell me. I'll try to do it. I've found some tricks to control the video stream and everything. So I hope you're able to see my screen very soon now. Okay. Good. So you should be fine with the screen now. I think you should see the screen. Give me 1 if you see the screen. Give me 1 if you see the screen. Give me 1 if you see the screen. Okay, give me 1 if you see the screen. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Give me 2 if you hear me okay. Okay. If you hear me okay. Okay. Very good. So I want to see ones and twos coming. So I know. Okay? Inshallah. Ones and twos coming. Good. Jazakallah. Thank you. Thank you. So I know. Very good. Very good. Very good. I could make the smileys bigger so to pace you up. How does that sound? Good. It's bigger now. Okay. So give me one and twos. Good. Excellent. Okay. Okay, let's kickstart now, inshallah. I think it's okay. Good. Very good. So what we did last time, we were doing the flexibility of isms. Flexibility of isms. Okay. Now, who can define me what is flexibility? What is a flexibility of ism? What is a flexibility of an ism? What is flexibility? If you have to teach this to someone, what would you tell him? What is the flexibility of an ism? Okay, who can tell me that? Any ideas? Whatever you have understood, doesn't matter, right or wrong, just tell me. Good. How easily, it's the ability of an ism, how easily it shows, an ism shows its status. Okay, how easily an ism shows its status. That's the flexibility. How many categories of flexibility? How many categories of flexibilities? Tell me the names. What are the three categories? I'm already giving the answer. The three categories. So what are the three categories of flexibility? Yes, there are three, Suhail. Thank you. The three categories of flexibility. One is the fully flexible, then there's non-flexible, and then there's partly flexible. Okay? Flexible. Okay? Fully flexible, non-flexible, partly flexible. Great. Yes, true. Okay. Let's go to the fully flexible. What does that mean, fully flexible? What does that really mean, fully flexible? When do we call an ism a fully flexible ism? Okay, what is a characteristic of fully flexible ism? What have we learned? Tell me about it. A fully flexible ism is an ism that can show its status. Yes, that can show its status. Yes, that can always show its status. I'll use yours, Suhail. Always shows its status. Can always show its status. Okay, meaning when you look at the ism, it is going to be very clear if it is rafa, nasab, or jar. Okay, what else do we know about them? What else do we know about them? Can they be light? Can these isms be light? Or they have to be heavy only? Can they be light, or they have to be heavy only? What do you think? So the isms which are fully flexible can be heavy or light. Yes, true. Can be heavy or light. True, very good. They can be heavy or light. Excellent. Excellent. So what about the isms we have done in the Muslim chart? What about the Muslim chart? Are they fully flexible, non-flexible, or partly flexible? The isms in the Muslim chart. Are they fully flexible, non-flexible, partly flexible? All the Muslim charts. What category they fall into? Fully flexible. Yes. Muslim charts are fully flexible. True. Muslim charts are fully flexible. Correct. Any other identification of fully flexible? How can I find an ism is a fully flexible ism? I gave you a tip about one special category of isms which are fully flexible. Generally, are they majority or minority in the Quran? Fully flexible isms are majority or minority in the Quran? Okay. Um, Arab names, Talha, I did not restrict it to Arab names. I did not restrict it to Arab names. I know what you mean. Yes, that's what I'm after. Three-letter word with sukoon in the middle. And yes, Suhail, they're majority. So most isms are fully flexible. Okay? Most isms are fully flexible. Okay? And they're also three-letter words with sukoon in the middle. Three-letter words with sukoon in the middle are generally fully flexible. Okay? Are generally fully flexible, and they are majority in the Quran. Most isms are majority. You know, fully flexible is a normal ism. It's a normal ism. It's a default state of an ism. So an ism is consider an ism a fully flexible ism unless you can prove otherwise. So for an ism to be non-flexible or partly flexible, you should try to prove that. If you can't prove an ism to be partly flexible or non-flexible, it's safe to consider it a fully flexible one. Okay? But you should do your best to prove an ism to be non-flexible or partly flexible with all the knowledge you've got. And if you can't prove it and it doesn't fall in any category that allows them to be either non-flexible or partly flexible, you can consider them fully flexible, because fully flexible is a default state of an ism. Okay? It's a default state of an ism. Very good. Excellent. Let's go to the non-flexible ones. What do we know about non-flexible? What do we know about non-flexible? Why are they called non-flexible? What have they done? Why are they not flexible? Non-flexible isms. Anything special about them? Can they show all the statuses? Can they show? Yes, Suhail, that's correct. They don't reveal their status. Okay. They do not show their status. They do not show their status. Okay. They don't show their status. So how do we find that status? How do we find the status? How do we find the status? Talha, your statement, I know what you want to say, but your statement is incorrect. They have same status in every form. No, they have same form in every status. Okay? Yes, I know what you mean. I know you know that. So just correcting here. So they have same form in every status, not the same status in every form. Okay? They look the same. They look the same in all forms of status. In all forms of status. They look the same in all forms of status. Okay? Some tips to remember what type of words are non-flexible. Can you remind me what types of words are non-flexible? We did some tips. Okay. What types of words are usually non-flexible? Okay. So we said the words ending with yes. Correct, Talha, pointing words and ending with alif and alif maksura. Yes, that's correct. Alif and alif maksura, and alif maksura. That's correct. Okay, and all the pointer words, all the pointer words. There's a difference between pointing words and pointer words. There's a difference between pointing word and a pointer word that we will. It's a subtle difference. We will do that later on, inshallah. Okay, but yes, you're right. You're right. Pointer words are non-flexible. Okay. Okay. So we also did that all ism mawsuls are non-flexible. All ism mawsuls are non-flexible. So can you give me an example of pointer words? Any example of pointer word? Let me write one. Haza, hazihi, hazihi, haulai, haulai, zalika, and there's a zalika, zalika, tilka. I'm writing all of them. Tilka, ulaika. Okay, ulaika, ulaika. Okay, correct, correct. Ulaika. Okay, all the pointer words, and these are not all pointer words. I've just written few. Okay, so and then we did some ism mawsuls. Ism mawsul were like allazi, allazi that you read quite a lot in the Quran, like allazina. So it was allati as well, right? Allati, we'll do all of that, inshallah. Allati. Allati, then there was allazina, allazina, there was ma, and there was man. Okay? That's what we did. Okay? That's what we did. You don't know what these are right now. You just know they are isms, and you just know they are non-flexible. So they would look the same in case of all the statuses. And in the same story with pointer words, haza would look haza all the time. Hazihi will look hazihi all the time. It will not change its status. Okay? It will change its status, but it will not change its form. So they will look exactly the same throughout in every form of status. Okay? And that's it. That's it effectively about the non-flexible ones. Nothing special about them now. This is what it is. Okay? Then there was a partly flexible discussion. Partly flexible. Now, partly flexible, what are the partly flexible ones? What are the partly flexible ones? Help me remember that. Help me remember that. Partly flexible. What can they do? They sometimes show their status and sometimes not. Yes, they sometimes show their status and they sometimes do not. And they have two rules, right? They have two rules. The first one is they cannot be heavy. That's right. The second one is they cannot take a kasra. Right? The second one is they cannot take a kasra. Okay? Now, when we say they sometimes show their status and sometimes not, what are the two forms of status that they look exactly the same in? Okay? So they would look same in what form? They would look same in what form? In Rafa, Nasab, Jar, which forms they would look the same? Okay? They look the same in Nasab and Jar. Correct. Nasab and Jar forms. Okay? They look the same in Nasab and Jar. Okay? Correct. Yes, Sohail, very good. Talat, thank you. Very good. Good, good. Excellent. And after that, we did some deep dive into the partly flexible ones. A bit of a deep dive. Okay. Uh, so what we did, deep dive into partly flexible. And we did some tips on how we can identify an ism to be a partly flexible ism. How can we identify an ism to be a partly flexible ism? And we did some indications what types of isms are partly flexible. And we did effectively two categories for now. We did two categories for now. We said proper names of places are partly flexible, and we said non-Arab names are partly flexible. Okay, non-Arab names are partly flexible as well. Okay, that's what we did. In the proper names of places, we said places which are effectively usually four or more letters, made up of four or more letters. And we did some examples. For example, we did Makkah, Makkah. We did Makkah. We did Pakistan, right? Pakistan. We did Pakistan. Pakistanu. Four or more letter. And we learned about this shadda thing, right? We learned about this shadda thing. This is effectively two kafs coming together. Effectively two kafs coming together. We learned about that yesterday. Okay. And then we said non-Arab names. Correct. And we said, how do we remember non-Arab names? We just remember four Arab names in the Quran. Four Arab names in the Quran. Four Arab names in the Quran. Okay, are fully flexible. It said four Arab names in the Quran are fully flexible. Fully flexible. What are those four Arab names? Can you help me remember those four Arab names? Can you help me remember those four Arab names? Muhammad, Saleh, Shu'aib, and Hud. Yes, Muhammad, Saleh, Shu'aib, Hud. Four Arab names in the Quran. Correct. Yes. Correct. So these are the four Arab names in the Quran. So as soon as you see these names, you know they are fully flexible. But if you see another name, which is outside of these names, then you would say, okay, it could be partly flexible. So what you would not do, you would not immediately conclude, right? You would do your investigations. For example, if you see, if you see, let's say, Lut, you see Lut. Now, Lut is a name that does not fall under these four names, right? So you can immediately say, oh, it's partly flexible, but no, you don't say that, because you also know from the fully flexible three-letter words with sukoon in the middle. Three-letter words with sukoon in the middle are fully flexible. So you're going to call it a fully flexible. But alternatively, if you get a name like, for example, Ibrahim, if you get a name like Ibrahim, now Ibrahim is also not falling under these four categories, four names, and it is also not a three-letter word with the sukoon in the middle. Therefore, you go and conclude and say, yeah, it's partly flexible. Partly flexible. Yes? Make sense? Excellent. Okay. So can you give me a 1 if you are comfortable with this, so I can proceed, inshallah? Can you give me a 1 if you are comfortable with this? Give me a 1 if you are comfortable with the flexibility. Don't worry, you may need a bit more practice. We'll do the exercise today, just now. We'll start with the exercise and then we go to the next topics, inshallah. Good, excellent. Okay, great, alhamdulillah. Thank you, Harun, Dalha, and Sohail. Good. Okay, so let's move on. Inshallah, let's continue with the exercise that we were supposed to do at home. Now tell me, how many of you have attempted it? I know, Talha, you have attempted it. You've been discussing. Anyone else who attempted it? I just wanted to see the engagement level at the moment, because that helps me understand how the class will move on going forward. So, anyone else attempted it? So the whole point is we can do so much in the class, but ultimately it drills down to every single individual. No? So you have to put that practice in, you have to put that time in and effort in, and without that it's not going to come the way we expect it to come, right? So it's going to be challenging. So you need to practice. Nothing comes without practice. So if you haven't tried this, if you haven't done this, please do this, because when I will do it with you, you will understand everything. You'll feel as if you understand everything, yes, and you will actually understand everything. But it's completely different story when you do it yourself. Okay, so please give it a shot. Spend some time, do it yourself, inshallah. Okay, so let's start. Let's see what we have here. Number 7, Luth. I think we just did that. So Luth is fully flexible because it's a 3-letter word with a sukoon in the middle. Okay, Luth is fully flexible, 3-letter word with sukoon in the middle. Okay, Muhammad. How about Muhammad? What is Muhammad? Is it fully flexible, non-flexible, partly flexible? How does that sound to you? Fully flexible, non-flexible, partly flexible? So is this part of the 4 names? Yes. So it's fully flexible. It's a fully flexible ism. Okay, it's a fully flexible ism. Safina. How about number 9, Safina? Fully flexible, partly flexible, non-flexible? Is there a reason to call it non-flexible? No, I don't think so. Is there a reason to call it partly flexible? It's not a name of a place. It's also not a name of a person, right? It's so yeah, okay. From the Indian subcontinent, you may find names like Safina is a name of a lady, yes, but it's Arabic. We're talking Arabic here. Okay, so it's not a name. So it's fully flexible. It's a fully flexible ism. Sahib. What about number 10? Sahib. Sahib is fully flexible. Sahib is fully flexible. Masjid. Number 11. Number 11. Masjid. Any reason to call it partly flexible or non-flexible? Any reason to call it partly flexible or non-flexible? Is there anyone who thinks masjid is partly flexible because it's a name of a place? Anyone thinks it's partly flexible because it's a name of a place? So if you think it's a name of a place, you're right, But the ruling in the partly flexible says it should be a proper name of the place. Proper name of a place, not a general, improper, not a common name of a place. Meaning, if I say city, it's common. If I say London, it's proper. Okay? If I say city, it's common. If I say London, it's proper. If I say cricket ground, it's common. If I say Lord's cricket ground, it's proper. Okay? Yes, that's what I'm telling Talha. Exactly. So it is not, I'm just clarifying if anyone is thinking like that. It is fully flexible. It is fully flexible. Although it's a name of a place, but it's not a proper name. It's not a proper name. It's an improper name. It's a common. Masjid. Which masjid? We don't know. It's a common noun. It's a commonism. Therefore, it's fully flexible, not partly flexible, in case you have done it that way. Okay? Okay, Haza, we did that in the class. Let's move on to number 16. Qalam. Qalam. Qalam is fully flexible. There's no reason to call it non-flexible, and there's also no reason to call it partly flexible. Okay? If you have done it otherwise, please write in the chat box and I'll clarify that, inshallah. So I'm just giving you the answers so you can you can confirm what you have done. Okay? Number 16. Number 16 is fully flexible. No reason to call it non-flexible or partly flexible. Number 17, Fir'aun. Fir'aun is partly flexible. Why it's partly flexible? It's a name in the Quran. It's a partly flexible. It is not among the 4 names that are fully flexible. Therefore, it is a non-Arab name. If it is a non-Arab name, it is partly flexible. If it is a non-Arab name, then it is partly flexible. Okay? Correct, Alha. Az-Zikra. Immediately I see alif maksura in them. Yes? Immediately. It's like Musa, Isa. I see alif maksura in them, and that tells me it's non-flexible. It's non-flexible. Okay? It'am. It'am is fully flexible. It's no reason to call it non-flexible. It's not a name of a place. It's not a name of a person, which is a non-Arabic name. It's not. Okay? Yatim, fully flexible. Yatim, yatimun, yatiman, yatimin, fully flexible. Okay? Nar. Nar means fire. Yes? Nar means fire. It's a 3-letter word with this kind of sukoon in the middle, isn't it? So it's fully flexible. Okay? Rusul. Rusul means messenger, right? All of us know. It's fully flexible. It's not a name and it's not a place. So can't be partly flexible. There's no reason to call it non-flexible. It's fully flexible. Number 23, al-unsa. I see immediately an alif maksura in the end. Tells me that it is non-flexible. Tells me that it is non-flexible. Okay? Rab. Rab. Which one are you talking about, Talha? Are you talking about the Rasul that you can map to the Muslim chart? As you go along and know more, normally every ism would be mapped to the Muslim chart. A normal ism would be mapped to the Muslim chart. But there will always be exceptions. Like in plurals cases, we'll do that today, inshallah, sometimes. That the Muslim charts that you know today, you won't be able to map it to all of the Muslim chart. Parts of it would map. Plurals sometimes would not map. Okay, and in that case, you will not be able to map the full Muslim chart, but probably singular and pair section, and the plurals are going to be different. We'll do that today, inshallah. Okay, but you're right. If you can map an ism to a Muslim chart, it is fully flexible ism. Okay. Rabb is fully flexible. Fully flexible. Okay? Alaq. Alaq is fully flexible. Okay. Ruj'a, alif maksura comes into place. Makes your life easy. It's non-flexible. Okay, makes your life easy. It doesn't show its status. Okay. Ibrahim. How about Ibrahim? Any opinions on Ibrahim? Ibrahim. It's a name. We definitely know that. It's a name. Okay. It's not part of the name of list of four that we did. Muhammad, Saleh, Shu'aib, and Hud. And these four names were fully flexible. So it is not part of those names. So it means it's not an Arabic name. It's a non-Arab name. Therefore, it's partly flexible. Partly flexible. Lahab. What did you do with Lahab? What did you do with Lahab? Any thoughts on Lahab? So Lahab is a name of a person. Lahab, Abu Lahab, you may know, right? Lahab. It's partly flexible. It's a non-Arab name. Although it's three letters, 1, 2, and 3, but there is no sukoon here. There's no sukoon here. Okay? So you can't. No, it's a non-Arabic name. It's not part of the list of four. Okay? It's not part of the list of four. So it was more of a title for that person, not really a name. It was more of a title. Abu Lahab was a title, not really a name. His name was different. I think Abdul Ussa or something like that. But this was more of a title. So it's from what we know, this is not part of the list of four names. So you would categorize it as a partly flexible name. Okay. Ahad. Ahad is fully flexible. Ahad is fully flexible. Okay. Ahad is fully flexible. Okay. Excellent. Good. Did we miss out ibtaha? Yes, we missed out the number 24. Okay. Ibtaha is fully flexible. Ibtaha is fully flexible. Okay. So why partly flexible, Talha, Ahad? Why do you think? Now, if you look at Ahad from the name perspective, because you may see Ahad as a name, but that is not a name. Name is Abdul Ahad, not Ahad. Ahad means the one. Qul huwallahu ahad. Qul huwallahu ahad. Ahad means the one. Okay? It is not a name. If you see it as a name that normally in subcontinent people put it, then you would see it as a non-Arabic name, and you would call it partly flexible. It's not a name. It's a characteristic. It's Ahad, being one. It's one. Okay? So the name is Abdul Ahad. The Ahad name can only be for Allah. Al-Ahad. Al-Ahad can only be for Allah. Abdul Ahad is a name of a person. Okay? And Ahad is a characteristic. To be one. The one. Okay? Okay, good. Excellent. Mashallah, you have done good. Let's move on to the next topic. Let's move on to the next topic. Today, we have concluded the study on the status of an ism. Congratulations. This was the longest study in the study of understanding ism in Arabic language. So we have done the status study. You know now almost everything that you need to know about the status at this stage. There are things that you will find out later on, but for now, whatever you know is what you had to know at this point in time. Okay, so very well done, mashallah. All of you have come a long way. Just after 5 lectures, you know a lot more than what you knew when you started the course, right? So you can already, in the end, we'll try to decode something in the Quran and map our learning. So you have come a long way, mashallah. That's very, very good. I'm very happy about it. So today we are going to start the study on number. Start the study on number. Let's start the study of number. Okay. So this is the second property of an ism. Okay. The second property of ism. Okay. It's the second property of an ism. In fact, you have been doing number quite a lot all through this time. So we don't have to do a very comprehensive study of number. Rather, we have to go a selected study of number because you already know quite a lot about number. So number represents how many, right? Just like you know an ism, an ism can be what? Three types of numbers. It can be a singular, it can be a pair, and it can be plural. Okay? This is number effectively. Okay? An ism can be singular, it can be pair, and it can be plural. You already know the singular forms, don't you? Can you give me an example of a singular form of an ism? Any example that you know, singular form of an ism? You've done many, right? Like Muslimun, like Masjidun, like Masjidun, right? Like correct, like Sajidun. Let me make a status change. Like Sajidan, for example. All of these things. For example, Jannatin, not noon. Jannatin. I'm just intentionally changing the status so you can map it. So all of these things were singulars, right? Muslimatan, right? All of these were statuses, which were singulars. You've done this. You already know. I don't need to tell you anything further on this. So you know the Muslim chart. You already know singular forms, okay? And you have already done some pair forms as well, okay? Some pair forms, like Muslimani. Like Muslimani you have done. You have also done Muslimaini. Okay. You could do the same for Masjidaini, for example. Masjidaini. Okay. Like Muslimatani, Matani, and so on. Okay. Correct. Muslimatani. Correct. So these are all pair forms, duals. Okay, these are pair forms. So ism has a characteristic of a status. It could be rafa and jar, and under that study you have loads of things, those ending sounds and ending combinations, light and heavy, and flexibility and everything. And ism also has another characteristic, which is number, meaning how many, where ism could be singular, ism could be pair, and ism could be plural. Okay, ism could be plural. You have also done the plurals. You already know plurals from your Muslim chart studies. Okay, so you know Muslimuna, Muslimuna. You know Muslimatun. Muslimatun. Okay? You know Muslimatun, and so on. Okay? I can make one more. For example, Kafirina, Kafirina, Munafiqina, Munafiqina, and so on. Qina, Munafiqina. Yeah? So all of that. These are all plurals, aren't they? Muslimuna, Muslimatun, Kafirina, Munafiqina, or Kafiruna, or Munafiquna, and so on. I've just changed the status randomly. Okay? So you can map. Okay? So you have done that already. So you already know quite a lot about the number. Quite a lot about the number. But there's another thing that you need to know about the number in an ism. That's something new, which we will do today, inshallah. Okay? Let me establish the context of that thing. Okay? Now let's switch to English for a while. Let's switch to English. Switch to English for a while. English for a while. Now imagine one of your friends coming to you, and he doesn't know anything about English, right? I come to you, or whoever, he doesn't know anything about English. Okay? All he wants to know is, how do you make things plural? How do you make things plural? What are you going to tell him? Say, okay, he says, okay, car I know is a singular. Car I know is a singular. Okay? Car I know is a singular. How do you make it plural? How do you make it plural? What are you going to tell him? What are you going to tell him? What are you going to tell him? You're going to tell him add S. Add S. Okay, so he add S, he makes it cars. Cool, good logic, excellent. And then he comes to you, okay, there's a table. What am I going to do? I want to make it plural. What should I do? Add S and make it tables. Excellent. Understand. Very logical language. Understand. Okay. Then I have a house. What do? Add S. Make it houses. Okay? Makes sense. He becomes very confident. He says, okay, great. I want to do some practice, and I want to do some practice on real people outside. And he's having a problem with his teeth. He goes to the dentist, and he says, I have a problem in my tooths. I have a problem in my tooths. And the dentist gives him a very weird look. What's happening here? What is happening here? Any problem here? Any problem here? Is he doing anything wrong? Because what he knows, tooth is a singular. You told him add S. You told him add S. So he just added S. And he made it tooths. Yes? Which is what? Which is wrong. Which is wrong. Big time. Wrong. So what's happening with tooth? You know it's not tooth, it's teeth. It's not tooth, it's teeth. So the rule that you told him does not apply, does it? It does not apply. So your rule is broken. Yes, it's a broken plural, isn't it? Correct, Haru. It's a broken plural. It's broken because the rule does not apply. Then he saw a goose, and he said, okay, just to reassure what you told me, you said add S. So I added S, that this goose should be gooses, isn't it? You say, no, it's wrong. It's wrong. It should be geese. Geese. Okay? So he's getting completely confused. Then now he's learning, okay, good. So if you have double O's in the middle, then you add two E's in the middle and you make it work. Okay? If you have double O's, you add two E's in the middle and you make it work. He's trying to build some logic in his mind right now. Okay? And then he sees some fish. And he said, okay, there's no double S, so what I should do, add S, because it looks like normal one. So I should say fishes. Okay? Which is wrong again. What's the plural of fish? What's the plural of fish? Plural of fish is fish. Nothing else. Yes, you see the problem? You see the problem? Your friend is completely getting confused right now. Okay? He's getting completely confused right now. Then you gave him an example. Oh, fish is like fish, just like sheep is sheep. Yeah. So he's completely devastated. Say, what are you telling me? So English is kind of a weird language. The plural concept, the rules that you told me here, they're completely broken. So these plurals that do not follow a norm, the plurals that do not follow a norm are called broken plurals. Okay? These are all broken plurals. Let me write them here. Broken plurals. These are broken plurals. Just like you have in the Arabic language, you have them in English language too. You have them in English language too. Just like in the English language, you have them in Arabic language too. Okay, so this is wrong. All of this is wrong. Okay, makes sense so far? So what we are going to do today, we are going to learn broken plurals in Arabic. Broken plural in Arabic. Okay, that's what we're going to learn today. Let me give you an example. The plural of Muslimun. Muslimun. Oops. Muslimun. Plural of Muslimun, all of you know is Muslimuna. You know it's Muslimuna, right? The plural of let's say munafiqun is munafiquna. Okay? The plural of muslimatun is muslimatun, isn't it? So these are all normal plurals. These are normal plurals. They map to the Muslim chart without any problem. They just map to the Muslim chart without any problem. These are all normal plurals. Okay, these are normal. Let me write here. Normal plurals. Plurals that map to the Muslim charts. These are all normal plurals that map to the Muslim chart. But how about masjidun? Masjidun. How about masjidun? Any ideas? What is the plural of masjidun? Any idea what is the plural of masjidun? Is it masjiduna? Is it masjiduna? Or is it masajidun? Or is it masajidun? The plural of masjidun is masajidun. Okay? It's masajidun. It's not mapping to your Muslim chart. It's not mapping to your Muslim chart. Okay? It is a broken plural. It's a broken plural. Okay? Now let's take a look at rusulun. 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 What is the plural of rusul? Rasulun, not ra. Rasulun. The plural of rasulun is rusulun. Rusulun. The plural of rusulun is rusulun, not rusuluna. It's not rusuluna. It's rusulun. It's a broken plural. It does not map to your standard Muslim chart. For these isms, masjidun, rusulun, that have broken plurals, they would map just fine on the singular and the pair. They would map just fine on the singular and the pair. What they would not map on is the plural. The problem is with the plural. The problem is with the plural. Let me give you another example. Qalamun. Qalamun is the pen. Okay? Qalamun is the pen. The plural of qalamun is aqlamun. Aqlamun. Plural of pen is aqlamun. Okay? These are all broken plural. Okay, now these are all broken plurals in Arabic. Okay? You need to know how to label broken plural. You need to know how to assign them gender. You need to know how to assign them number. So from the logic perspective, I want you to keep the logic on the side for now, for a while, because it is a language. There are going to be things in this topic that you will not find logical, but this is a language, and I'm going to tell you what those things are. So you keep the logic on the side for a while. Okay. So what you need to learn is how to assign a gender to a broken plural, and how to assign a number to a broken plural. From the logic perspective, a number should be plural. It cannot be singular or it cannot be pair. It's a plural after all, right? So one may think like that. But from the grammatical analysis perspective, it may be different. Okay, so we'll see some examples today. Okay, we'll see some examples today. So if you look at aqlamun, if I had not tell you this is a plural, you would just label it as a singular ism, isn't it? We just say aqlamun looks like muslimun, right? It looks like muslimun. It maps to the singular column, but effectively it's a plural. You cannot call it a singular. Okay? It's a plural. So it will change your translation. So instead of writing pens, you would be writing pen. Okay? Which can make big differences. So, yeah, so that's why it's important to understand the broken plurals. Okay. Now, broken plurals. Before I move on with this, is there any question popping up? Are we good with that? Can I move on? Any question? Give me one if you're comfortable with this. If you understand what I'm trying to tell you. Are you comfortable? Please give me one if you're comfortable. You're not comfortable? I'm not getting anyone. Okay, so you're not comfortable. Tell me if you're not comfortable. Okay, good. Okay, thank you, Jazakallah. Good. All right, so broken plural. Now, this is one category of broken plural. The broken plural are divided into two categories. Okay. Not the broken plural, generally plural. Sorry, not the broken plurals. Plurals are divided into two categories. Okay, into two categories. Let me make a table out here. So let me make a table here. That will make it easy to explain. Okay. Okay, two categories. So plurals are divided into two categories. Now, okay, yes, there could be a lag. Yes, sorry. Yeah. So there's one category which is human plurals, and there's one category which is non-human plurals. Okay? One category which is human plurals, and the other category is non-human plurals. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Human plurals. These plurals represent the intelligent beings. Okay. they represent intelligent beings. For example, they represent human, they represent angels, and they represent jinns. Okay? They represent angels, humans, and jinns. These are considered intelligent beings. Okay? Intelligent beings. Okay? So just take them as two categories or groups. Human plural. When I say human plural, I'm meaning either human or angels or jinns. These are intelligent beings. Okay? The non-human plural, they represent non-intelligent beings. They represent non-intelligent beings. For example, books. For example, dogs. For example, mosques. Okay? For example, mosques. These are non-intelligent beings. Okay? Non-intelligent beings. So you have to keep this in mind. The plurals are divided into two categories: human plural and non-human plural. Okay? Human plural and non-human plural. And human plural represents intelligent beings, which means humans, angels, and jinns. And the non-human plural represents non-intelligent beings, meaning things like book, dog, and mosque. Anything outside the human, angel, and jinn scope. Okay? They represent the non-intelligent beings. Okay? So this should be clear, inshallah. Okay? Now, how do you grammatically treat the non-human plural? The non-human plural. How do you grammatically treat the non-human plural? The non-human plural is always treated, they are always treated as singular. They're always treated as singular, grammatically speaking. Grammatically speaking. And the gender is always treated feminine. The gender is always treated feminine. Number, this is number, and this is gender. Okay? Keep the logic on the side for now. Okay? Just keep the logic on the side. This is how the language works. Okay? They're always treated, always grammatically, let me say, grammatically treated. They're always grammatically treated as singular feminine. As singular feminine. Non-human plurals I'm talking about. Non-human plurals I'm talking about. Okay? They're always grammatically treated as singular feminine. Okay? Any questions so far before I move on? I'll give you some time to digest this. I understand. So what this would mean is, in English you would write there are. Let's construct some examples. Examples. In English, you may say there are books. There are books in English. This is English, okay? English. But in Arabic, you would say the same sentence. There is books. Okay? This is Arabic. This is Arabic. This is treating it as singular. This is treating it as singular. Okay, and that is the difference. This is treating it as singular. If you translate it in English, it will not make sense because the English grammar rules are different. English grammar rules are different. This is Arabic grammar. In Arabic, it makes complete sense. But in English translation, it will not. When you find a plural which is treated singular feminine, which is non-human, and you have to translate it, you will translate it according to the language rules you're translating it into. If you're translating Arabic in English, you would use English rules. If you're translating it in French, you would use French rules. But for Arabic, they will be grammatically treated as singular feminine. Okay? So this is treating the gender. Another example, okay? So if I say about dog, it, if I say, let's construct a scenario. Okay? Yes, Talha, that's exactly why I said that you need to keep the logic on the side. So it's a plural. Yes, it is indeed a plural. There is no question about it. But when you do the grammatical analysis of Arabic, you would not label it as plural. You would label it as singular. This is for the grammatical analysis purposes, not for the translation purposes or not for the understanding purposes. From the understanding perspective, you would still consider it plural, but when you have to analyze the language, that how the language is assigning genders and numbers and status, you will have to treat it as singular. Okay, we'll do some exercises and things will become clear. I know this topic is a bit weird. This is not the first time I'm teaching, and inshallah, it will become weird. I know these are common questions that you're asking, and when we do the practice, it will become clear. Well, so yes, of course, but we can have the Arabic sentence. I'll try to construct. For example, this is this. For example, these are books. These are books. This is English, right? This is English. If I construct Arabic sentence, I can, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to explain that completely. So you would say hazihi. You would say hazihi. Hazihi kutubun. Hazihi kutubun, not haziha. Hazihi kutubun. Hazihi kutubun would mean these are books. These are books. You would not understand this right now in detail because we have not done some advanced sentences. So we have not done the pointers. We have not done many things that you need to know to understand this from the Arabic perspective right now. So what I want to give you is an idea that in grammar it is treated singular. That's just to give you an idea here. Hazihi is a pronoun. Hazihi is a pointer that is a singular pointer. It's like this in English. It's like this in English, not these. These is for plurals. Okay, these is for plurals. Okay, but you the these in English would be tilka. Sorry, ulaika. These would be ulaika here. Okay, in this case, for the feminine. But we are using a singular pointer for representing a plural books. So we will do all of that inshallah later on. Don't go that route right now. It will confuse you. Just take what I'm telling you, okay? Just take what I'm telling you. Okay? Good. So non-human plurals, before I jump on to the plural, human plurals, non-human plurals are non-intelligent beings. They are grammatically treated always as singular and feminine. In terms of number, they will be treated grammatically as singular and feminine. And that's it. That's what you need to remember. When you see a plural, which is a broken plural, for example, the example we did here, for example, masajidun. Masajidun, if I ask you to give me a number and a gender to it, you would be telling me it's singular feminine. Same story with aqlamun. You would be telling me it's singular feminine, although you know it's plural. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Grammatically, it is treated singular feminine. This has to be very clear in your mind. Don't try to prove this with logic. Don't try to prove this with logic. Logically, because we tend to think in English. We tend to think in English. And from the English perspective, it will not make sense to you. Okay, but for an Arabic speaker, it makes complete sense. How is kutubun feminine? It will become clear in a minute. I'll tell you something. Okay, as I said, kutubun is feminine because it's a non-human plural. It's a non-human plural, and non-human plural are always treated singular and feminine. Sohail, they're always treated singular and feminine. Okay. Kutubun is feminine. Kutubun is feminine. It's a non-human broken plural. It's a non-human plural, and non-human plurals are always treated singular feminine. Okay? It is not masculine. Okay? Okay. So if you have got the non-human plural part, let me move on to the human plural part. So I know this is confusing right now, but just take what I'm telling you. Remember one thing: non-human plurals are always treated singular feminine. This is what I'm telling you. That's the section you need to know. This is what you need to know. Okay, all of this. Keep this in mind. They are always grammatically treated singular feminine. Okay. Now let's move on to the human plural. Let's move on to the human plural, inshallah. Okay. Now, in case of human plurals, there are two categories. One are normal plurals, and one are broken plurals. One are normal plurals, and one are broken plurals. All of the normal plurals are the ones that you already know, the ones that map to the Muslim charts. Okay, these are the plurals that map to the Muslim chart. They map to the Muslim charts perfectly. Okay, they map to the Muslim charts perfectly. These are the ones that you already know: Muslimuna, Kafiruna, Muslimatun, Muslimatin, and so on. That's the ones that we have listed already. Okay, here. These are all normal plurals. Okay, normal plurals. I mentioned it here as well. They're normal plurals. Okay, they map to the Muslim chart without any problems. So you know them. So you know what gender to assign, and you know what number to assign. So if it's Muslimuna, you would say it's plural and masculine. If it's Muslimatun, you would say it's plural and feminine. Okay. Okay. So it's the same story. There's nothing different here than what you already know. Okay. Now the broken plural is new. Broken plural is new. What do we do with broken plurals? Broken plural, they are treated in the case of non-human plural, we said they are treated either as singular feminine. They're treated either as singular feminine. Okay. What's the spelling mistake I'm doing? Feminine. They're treated as either singular feminine or they're treated based on the translation. They're treated based on translation. Based on translation or what they are. Or what they are. What they actually are. Okay? They're treated based on translation or what they actually are. Okay? Singular feminine is common. So meaning if you get a broken plural, if you say a human plural, for example, rusulun. Rusulun is a good example. Now we know rusulun is a plural of rasul. It's a plural of rasulun. And we know rasulun is a human. Therefore, rusulun is also a human. meaning an intelligent being. Okay, it's an intelligent being. We know that. So when we grammatically label this, and I asked you, okay, what is the number and gender of Rusulun? You can either tell me it's singular feminine, you can either tell me it's singular feminine, or you can tell me what it actually is. We know all the Rasuls were masculine, right? We know all the Rasuls were masculine. So we could say it's masculine, okay? And we also know it's a plural, so we could say plural masculine. Both are right. Both are right, okay, in this case. So broken plurals would give you this option to either assign a gender which is singular feminine, gender and number which is singular feminine, or based on the context around it, or what they actually are. Okay, that's what you need to understand. That's what you need to understand. Okay. So let me give you a chart. Not the chart like Muslim chart. Let me give you another chart. Let me make something for you. Let me do some creative art here. I'll give you something that will help you, inshallah. Okay, we did this one. Okay, let me make something here. So what we are saying here is that there are plurals. Okay, they're plurals. Look at it carefully. They're plurals. Okay. Now plurals have two categories. One category is human, and the other category is non-human. Okay, one category is human, and the other category is non-human. Okay, when you come to non-human, you treat those plurals singular feminine. You treat those plurals singular feminine. Okay, that's what we are saying. Okay, but when it comes to humans, when it comes to human plural, there are further two categories. There's one normal plural, and there's one broken plural. There's one normal plural, and there's one broken plural. Normal plurals are treated as per the Muslim charts, okay? As per charts that you know. They apply to Muslim charts, either masculine or feminine, and you would treat them accordingly. If it is Muslimatun mapping, you would treat it singular plural. Treat it plural feminine. If it is Kafiruna mapping, you would treat it as plural masculine, and so on. Okay, it's something that you already know. Okay, Muslim chart is masculine, Muslimatun chart is feminine. Okay, that's simple. When it comes to broken plural, you can treat them in two ways. You can either treat them singular feminine, or you can treat them as they are. Okay, so this singular feminine bit is same as this one. So both plurals can be treated as singular feminine, but broken plural give you an option to treat them as they are as well. Okay, so you need to understand this chart effectively, this diagram. You need to engrave this diagram in your mind. Okay, whenever you see a plural, the first question you should be asking yourself, is it human or non-human? Is it human or non-human? If it is non-human, you close your eyes, you assign it singular feminine. Okay? But if it is human, you ask second question to yourself. Is it a normal plural? Meaning, this plural, is it mapping on the Muslim charts? is if it is mapping on the Muslim charts, you would assign it according to which Muslim chart it maps to. If it maps to the masculine Muslim chart, you would assign it plural masculine. If it maps to the feminine Muslim chart, you would assign it plural feminine. Okay. However, if it does not map to the Muslim chart, meaning you go this route, this route. If it is broken plural, then you can still close your eyes and assign it singular feminine. You can still close your eyes and assign it singular feminine. Okay, but you could also do some investigation and assign it what exactly they are. Okay, based on the translation that makes more sense. Right. So let's do some exercise. It will inshallah help you clarify this concept. I know students normally find this weird. I've taught this before, and this is the same kind of reaction I normally get. That's fine. That's how it starts, but inshallah it will become clear. You may have questions in your mind. How would I know if a plural is a broken plural? How would I know effectively? Well, I'll tell you now. If you go on to the page number 6, so if you go on to the page number 6 of your notes, please. Page number 6 of your notes, where you have 3 charts. There's one masculine chart. We have done this. We have done this chart, masculine chart. We have done the feminine chart. Okay, all of these plurals here in the masculine and feminine chart, all of these plurals here, these are normal plurals. These are normal plurals. Normal. Okay, these are all normal plurals. That's a very good question, Talha. Yes, you do need vocabulary, but for now, you cannot have vocabulary because it is not possible to build that vocabulary. What we'll do, we'll take help from the translation. We'll take help from the translation, and we'll see how it is translated in the translation. It will tell us if it is plural or it's singular. Okay, we'll do some exercise here, and you'll understand. And when you keep on doing this, you'll automatically, inshallah, build up that vocabulary. Okay. For example, if I ask you what is the plural of Rusul, now probably you can tell me. Okay. You could say Rusulun, because now you know. Just like the books, Kitabun. What is the plural of Kitabun? You could say Kutub, because now you know. That's how you would build the vocabulary over the period of time. Until you're there, you should always look for the translation to find if it is translated as singular or a plural. If it is translated as plural, you know it's a broken plural. Okay, we'll see that inshallah. But the chart below that you see, this Qalamun chart, this is a broken plural chart. If you look here, Qalamun, Qalaman, Qalamin, Qalamani, Qalamaini, Qalamaini, everything is fine up to this point. Everything is fine up to this point. All good here. All good. The problem starts on here in the plural part. The problem starts here. These are the broken plural. You don't have kalamuna, kalamina, kalamina. You don't have that. You have aqlamun, aqlaman, and aqlamin. Okay, these are broken plural. These are broken plurals. Okay, so they would look similar to this. Similar to singulars. They would look similar to singulars. Okay, look similar. They look similar. Okay, but they're not singular. They're plural. Okay, and the only way you can know now if they're plural right now is by looking at the translation. Okay, and over the period of time, by looking at the translation, words keep on coming again and again, and you will build your vocabulary. Okay, you'll build your vocabulary. Okay, so let's move to, before we close this class, I just want to do a few things here. So everything we have done is mentioned here in your notes on page number 11. Page number 11. So normal masculine plural chart we have done. Normal feminine plural chart we have done. Human broken plural, non-human broken plural. Okay. They don't have the similar ending sounds and ending combinations that's just like you had in the normal Muslim chart. Okay, some examples are given here. So for example, human broken plural, malaikatu, meaning angels. These are angels. It's a plural of angels. Okay. Rusulun is messengers. Ulama is scholars. Alimun, alimin is a scholar, a single scholar. These are ulama is scholars. Okay, they are broken plural. Okay, treat as she, meaning feminine, or what they really are, Okay, treat as she or what they really are. Okay, non-human plurals. Non-human plurals, they represent non-intelligent beings. For example, this is dogs. This is masajid is masjid. Kutubin are books. Okay? These are non-human, non-intelligent being. Okay? We have done that in the class. Okay? And look at this statement. All non-human plurals, broken or not, are treated as a she, meaning feminine. Okay? Meaning feminine. You would treat them feminine. The number you could assign based on what they are. You could say it, singular or they. Yeah. Let's look at some examples here. In this exercise, the translation is given to you for the very reason, because you don't know if a plural is a broken plural or not. So look at the translation, look at the meaning of the word, and then decide what do you want to assign. What we want to assign is a number and gender. If it is, how should it be grammatically treated? You can just assign a number or number or gender, both, up to you really. Okay, so let's do a few here and then I'll leave you inshallah, so you can practice it at home. Al-jibala means the mountains. So if you just look at al-jibala and not the mountains as the meaning, you would just call it nasab, singular. But now that the meaning is in front of you, you look at the meaning. It says the mountains. It's a plural. Then you are asking yourself, okay, I know it's a plural now, that there are two branches of plural. One is human plural and one is non-human plural. Which one is al-jibala? Can you tell me? Is it a human plural or is it a non-human plural? Which one is it? I just want to know if you can map. Thank you, Suhail. I just want to know if you can map in your mind if it is a human plural or a non-human plural. Can you tell me? It's a non-human. And when it's a non-human, you close your eyes, you assign singular feminine. You assign singular feminine. Correct. Logic perspective doesn't make sense. Completely understand. From the logic perspective, because your logic is driven by English. We're thinking Arabic here. Okay, Arabic is different. Okay, from English language perspective, it does not make sense. Okay, but if you translate it, you may not call it singular. You may call it are mountains or not is mountains, because it does not make sense in English. But from Arabic perspective, this is how it is. Okay. Same story. Wujuhun, faces. I know this is called faces. What is the number and gender that I can assign to it? What is the number and gender I can assign to it? The way that your thinking process should be, is it a human plural or is it a non-human plural? If it's a non-human plural, you assign a certain singular feminine. If it is a human plural, you have two more branches. Is it a normal one or is it a broken one? So which branch does it fall into? Is it a human plural? Number 3 I'm talking about. I'm talking about wujuhun, this one, wujuhun. Is it a human or is it a non-human? Is it an intelligent being? Are faces intelligent beings or are faces non-intelligent beings? What do you think? What do you think? Correct. So they're non-human, singular feminine. That's correct. Singular feminine, because they're non-human. They're not human. Faces are not human. Human are human. Okay? Faces are not human. Faces is one characteristic. Your nose is not human. Your ear is not human. Okay? It's not an intelligent being in itself, right? So you get the crux. That's how you need to do this exercise. Okay? Just give it some time. Just take it what I have told you, inshallah. Okay? And try to do this exercise. And inshallah, we'll do that in the class next time. Before I close the class, I just want to do a quick story here. If you can just bear with me 5 more minutes, because then we finish this topic and we start fresh in the next class, inshallah. Nothing new here. So there are words in Arabic language which are just treated feminine, regardless what we think we want to treat them. And we call them because the Arab said so. Because the Arab said so. Short form, bas. Because the Arab said so. We treat them feminine because the Arab said so. Some examples are written here. It's a story that I will quickly read for you. And inshallah, it will become clear. Okay? So during a harb is a battle. If you want, you can open your notes. Please take these meanings on your notes if you want, please. Harb is a battle. During a harb, a soldier was daydreaming, looking up at the sama. Sama is sky. Sama is sky. Okay? Until the shams came up. Until the shams came up. Shams is sun. Until the shams came up. When he snapped out of it, he realized he was the only nafs. He was the only nafs. Nafs is soul. He was the only nafs left on the battlefield. Okay? He was surrounded by nar. Nar is fire. Nar is fire. Okay? So he used a dalau. He used a dalau. Dalau is bucket. Dalau is bucket. Okay? These are all singulars. These are all singulars, but these are the words which are always treated feminine. Always treated feminine. Why? Because the Arabs said so. We don't have any logical reason for that. Okay? So that's what I'm telling you. So he used a dalau full of water to make a sabil. Sabil is a path, way, road, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Path, to make a path, and a tariq. Tariq is also similar to sabil. It's also a pathway, road, and so on. Okay? So he was surrounded by nar, so he used a dalau full of water to make a sabil and a tariq all the way to a safer ard. Ard is land. Ard is land. Okay? To a safer land. In the hot blowing rih. Rih is wind. Wind. In the hot, blowing rih, he was desperately looking for a bir. Bir is a well. It's a well. Bir is a well. To draw water from. In search, he found an empty dar. Dar, what is dar? Dar is a house. House. Inside which he finds a kas. Kas is a glass. Glass. Okay? Full of khamr. Khamr is wine. Full of khamr. Khamr is wine. Okay? He is tempted despite his fear of Jahannam. Despite his fear of Jahannam. Jahannam is hell. Okay? And as-sa'ir. As-sa'ir is blazing fire. Blazing fire. As-sa'ir is blazing fire. Despite his fear of Jahannam and as-sa'ir, to take a sip, but wards off his temptation and uses his asa. Asa is a stick. Asa, to strike the drink. Okay? So the reason this story is here is because all of these words in Arabic in this story are always, always, always feminine. They're always treated feminine, regardless of whatever we think they should be treated up like, right? They always treated feminine because the Arabs said so. Because the Arab said so. Okay, this is Bas. Okay, because the Arabs said so. There's no logical reason to explain their gender. They just treat it feminine. Okay, so what I would like you to do is please go through this page number 11 and 12 at home. Complete this exercise by the next class, inshallah, and come, inshallah, we'll discuss and revise. It will settle down in your brain, inshallah. I'll share with you the chart that I've made and also the notes that I've made. And if you have any questions, please do put them on our WhatsApp group, and inshallah things will be fine. Things will be fine. It may be a bit too much to understand from the logical perspective, but this is what I really want you right in the beginning. So keep your logic on the side for now. Okay? Keep your logic on the side for now. Broken plurals are different. Okay, so just take things as I'm giving you, inshallah, and things will become clear. Do watch this lecture again if you find things confusing, or put something on WhatsApp. Inshallah, we'll try to help you out. Okay, so until then, I wish you all the very best, inshallah, for the next week. And the last Ashra, Tuesday night after Maghrib, last 10 nights, please make sure you spend your time. It's better than thousands of months. If you divide 1,000 by 12, it's like 83, 84 years. So one ibadah you do in that night is equivalent to what you would do in 84 years. Okay? You don't want to miss out on this. You just don't want to miss out on this. Okay? So let's make some time and effort, inshallah, prepare for it, and make dua for me and also for yourselves and everyone around you. I will see you on next Saturday, inshallah. Until then, all the best. May Allah be with you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.